Welcome to your national weather forecast. We begin with a story that many of you are tired of hearing: rain, rain, and more rain. While we often say it can come again another day, the problem right now is that the next wave of moisture is lifting in far too quickly to give anyone a real break. We have been monitoring a powerful system as the first wave pushes north, only to be followed immediately by a secondary wave that is clearing in behind it. The hardest hit area and the primary target for this next round of moisture will be eastern Ontario. Specifically, we are looking at the northeastern shoreline of Lake Ontario, stretching up toward Ottawa and moving further north from there. While many other regions will still see some rainfall, it is this specific corridor that faces the most intense setup and potential impacts. For residents in the Greater Toronto Area, the situation is a bit less menacing but certainly far from dry. We expect rainfall to build across the GTA through this afternoon, eventually clearing off toward the east during the early evening. Total accumulations for the GTA should land between 5 and 15 millimeters, while the Niagara region could see slightly higher amounts between 15 and 20 millimeters. However, the real concern is for those in the heaviest hit zones of eastern Ontario and southern Quebec. We are forecasting between 30 and 50 millimeters of rainfall, and that is without the aid of thunderstorms. With the ground already saturated, this poses a significant risk for flooding. Wednesday is shaping up to be a very wet day, particularly through the late afternoon and overnight hours. As these systems continue to lift through, we are watching the flood threats closely. As we expand our view across this beautiful country of ours over the next couple of days and into the weekend, we are seeing a massive contrast developing between the west and the east. If you are in the west, you are going to hold on to generally dry conditions and a significant amount of warmth. In the east, it is the exact opposite: unsettled weather, frequent rainfall, and temperatures that are staying well below seasonal norms. This divide is being driven by a massive upper-level pattern. We have a ridge extending way up toward the north, bringing above normal temperatures to much of western Canada. In contrast, an upper-level trough is swinging through the Great Lakes, producing those cooler-than-normal conditions. As this trough reinforces itself, you are really going to notice it in the overnight lows and your morning wake-up temperatures. It is going to be a chilly start to May for many in the east. Let's look at Atlantic Canada, where things are a bit more varied. Newfoundland is actually looking at a better day on tap with mostly sunshine and a high of 5 degrees in St. John's. As you move west across the Maritimes, it has been noticeably warmer, but active weather is lurking. Rainfall is building toward the Bay of Fundy, though the most intense activity is currently holding back toward Maine. By Thursday afternoon, however, heavier rain will become much more universal across the south shore and eastern shore of Nova Scotia. Newfoundland will likely stay dry, though you can expect increasing cloud cover and gusty winds. Returning to the Great Lakes and southern Quebec, the unsettled pattern remains the headline. Rainfall will build through the afternoon and evening, particularly for Niagara and eastern Ontario, before filtering further north. Behind this system, westerly winds will kick in and they will be quite gusty, with some gusts reaching 50 kilometers per hour. As we head into Friday, things will edge down slightly, but it remains quiet with only a few lingering showers or even some wet flurries from time to time. Further west into northern Ontario, we are still seeing a mix of snow and rain. Places like Fort Frances and the Lake of the Woods area should expect showers and hit or miss wet flurries. The story there is the northerly wind kicking back in. While that upper ridge in the west is trying to push toward the east, it is currently stopping short of covering the entire region, leaving northern Ontario in a bit of a transition zone. And then we get to western Canada, where the weather is looking almost summer-like across the board. This pattern is expected to persist as we move forward. The region is largely devoid of active weather, with the only minor exceptions being near the foothills. We might see some cloud cover and a few spotty showers down toward Crownest and Pincher Creek during the afternoon. Moisture is also moving in toward the far north coast, and some of that might override and fall into Alberta, but we are only talking about light showers rather than significant rainfall. So, to recap our national picture, the east coast remains cooler than normal, unsettled, and facing frequent bouts of heavy rain that could lead to flooding concerns. Meanwhile, the west coast and the prairies are enjoying a quiet, dry, and nearly summer-like stretch of weather. It is a tale of two very different springs across Canada. Thank you for joining us, and we will continue to keep you updated as these systems move across the country. Enjoy the warmth if you have it, and stay dry if you don't.